Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one that will touch your heart and stay with you long after you finish watching. It's about love, loss, and the strength it takes to keep going when the world feels like it's falling apart. This is the emotional story of Cara and Marco, the couple everyone thought had the perfect life, until tragedy struck. Stay till the end, because this story has a twist that will leave you speechless. Cara and Marco weren't just America's favorite morning show hosts. They were goals. For years, viewers tuned in not just for celebrity gossip or fun banter, but for the chemistry between the two. That warm laughter, those glances that said, "After all these years, you're still my person." They had built their empire on joy. But behind the bright studio lights, there was a different reality. One few people ever saw. It began on a rainy Thursday morning. Cara had been rehearsing a new segment for their show, while Marco, ever the perfectionist, was adjusting his microphone. The cameras weren't rolling yet, but something about the silence felt heavier than usual. Her phone buzzed. One message. One name she hadn't seen pop up in years. Her brother, Ethan. She froze. They hadn't spoken in almost a decade. Not since that one argument that tore their family apart. Marco noticed her face pale and gently asked, "Everything okay?" Cara nodded, trying to smile, but deep down her hands trembled. The message was only 5 words. "Call me. It's about Mom." When Cara dialed, the sound of Ethan's voice broke her. "Cara, she's gone." The world blurred. The laughter that usually filled their mornings vanished into static. She didn't even realize tears had started falling until Marco wrapped his arms around her, whispering, "It's okay. I'm here." That night, Cara sat on their balcony in silence. New York City glittered below. But to her, the lights looked cold, distant, meaningless. Marco came out with 2 cups of tea. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. Sometimes silence says more than comfort ever can. The next day, their show aired as usual. Cameras on, smiles up. The world saw their laughter, but no one saw the way Cara's hand shook beneath the desk, gripping Marco's for strength. After the funeral, things changed. Cara had always been the strong one, bubbly, driven, unstoppable. But grief doesn't follow logic. It creeps into corners of your soul you didn't know existed. Marco watched her fade behind that perfect smile. He tried everything, cooking her favorite meals, writing her little notes, bringing laughter back to their home. But nothing worked. Until one night, he found her sitting in their living room at 3 a.m., staring at an old VHS tape. On the screen, a younger Cara was dancing in her mother's kitchen, her mum clapping, laughing, spinning her around. Cara whispered, "She used to tell me, 'Don't ever stop smiling, baby. The world needs your light.'" I stopped listening. Marco knelt beside her, tears in his eyes. "Then let's turn it back on." That moment, quiet, raw, fragile, became the start of something powerful. A few days later, Cara did something no one expected. On live TV, she shared her story. No scripts, no teleprompters, just her truth. She spoke about grief, guilt, and how we sometimes carry anger toward the people we love, never realizing time isn't promised. Her voice cracked as she said, "I thought I had years to say sorry." And then she was gone. Don't wait to love someone loudly. The studio went silent. Viewers across the country wrote in. Thousands of messages, letters, emails. People shared their own stories of loss, reconciliation, forgiveness. It was like Cara's pain had unlocked something collective, something healing. But then came the second wave. Just when life seemed to be finding rhythm again, tragedy struck once more, this time closer to home. Their son, Lucas, a college athlete, was in an accident. A late-night call from the police shattered their fragile calm. Cara screamed, that primal sound of a mother's fear. Marco drove like a man possessed, running red lights, whispering prayers under his breath. Hours later at the hospital, the doctor said the words no parent ever wants to hear. "He's in a coma. We don't know if he'll wake up." For the next 3 weeks, Cara and Marco never left his side. They took turns holding his hand, reading him stories, playing his favorite songs. Cara even whispered jokes through her tears, pretending he could hear them. "Remember how you said you'd beat me at karaoke, huh? You better wake up if you want that rematch." But beneath her jokes was terror. One night, Marco broke down for the first time. "I can't lose him too, Cara. I can't." Cara looked at him, eyes hollow, voice trembling. "Then we won't. We'll believe. We'll believe like my mom did." That night, Cara walked outside, barefoot in the hospital garden. She looked up at the sky and whispered, "Mom, if you can hear me, please bring him back to me." The next morning, something changed. Lucas's fingers twitched. Doctors called it involuntary. Cara called it a miracle. 3 days later, his eyes fluttered open, faint, confused, but alive. Marco collapsed into the chair, sobbing. Cara pressed her forehead against their son's hand and whispered, "Thank you, Mom." The news of Lucas's recovery spread like wildfire. Cara and Marco returned to their show weeks later, but they were no longer just TV hosts. They were symbols of endurance, of love that survives the worst storms. Their first episode back was titled "Holding On." The cameras rolled, the lights glowed softly, and Cara looked straight into the lens. Her voice wavered, but her message was crystal clear. Grief doesn't end. It just changes shape. Sometimes it softens, sometimes it crashes again. But love never leaves. It shows up in miracles, in laughter, in second chances viewers wept. Clips of that episode went viral, but what no one knew was that behind that hope, Cara still had one secret. Months later, while cleaning out her mother's attic, she found an old letter addressed to her. The envelope was dated 10 years ago, the day their family had fallen apart. She unfolded it, her hands shaking. The letter read, "My dearest Cara, I know you're angry now. I know you think I failed you. But one day, when you find love and build a life of your own, you'll understand why I did what I did. Love isn't about being perfect. It's about staying when it hurts. Please forgive me. And please don't let pain make you forget how to laugh. Love always. Mum." Cara broke down. For hours, she sat in that attic surrounded by dust and memories, crying. Not out of sadness, but out of release. All those years of guilt, resentment, distance. Gone. Her mother's words healed what death had left undone. That evening, she showed the letter to Marco. He smiled softly. "You know what this means, right?" Cara nodded. "It means we start living, not just surviving." From that day, their show changed tone. Less gossip, more gratitude. Less celebrity talk, more stories that reminded people what mattered. Connection, forgiveness, family. Ratings soared, but that wasn't what made them proud. What made them proud was the messages from viewers who said, "Your story helped me call my dad again. I forgave my sister after years. You made me believe in miracles." Years later, Cara and Marco celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. Their children surprised them with a video montage, clips from their early shows, family vacations, and unseen moments that captured their laughter through the pain. At the end of the video was a recording, one Cara didn't remember ever filming. It was from years ago, when her mother had visited the set. She was laughing, waving at the camera, saying, "One day, my girl's going to change the world with her smile." The room went silent. Cara's eyes filled with tears again. Not of grief this time, but gratitude. Marco took her hand and whispered, "She was right." As they hugged, the audience applauded. Somewhere, in that energy, in that light, Cara felt her mother's presence. Because love doesn't die. It transforms. And that's what Cara and Marco's story became. Not a story of loss, but of love that outlived everything else. If you've ever lost someone you love, let this story remind you, they never really leave. They live in your laughter, in your memories, in every heartbeat that still believes in love. If this story touched your heart, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a little hope today. And don't forget to subscribe for more emotional true life stories that remind us we're never alone.